All right, guys, let's talk about the CLA-2A plugin. All right, so this one's going to be a shorty. There's not a lot to say. I really want to talk about this knob here, knob, whatever you want to call it. It's just digital, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about this knob here. So basically, if you haven't seen this plugin before, it's just a compressor, right? So it's mimicking the LA2A compressor. I believe Waves teamed up with Chris Lord Algae, and that's why it's the CLA2A, if I'm remembering correctly. They have like a bunch of presets that he made, stuff like that within the plugin. So it's a pretty popular compressor. People love it. People love the hardware version as well. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of what this exactly does. All right, so if you don't have this plugin, I will link to it in the description below for you. But basically, for the longest time, I was using this part of this plugin, and I would hear how the frequency balance would change, but I wasn't aware of exactly what it was doing and why the balance was changing. And I actually looked it up and found it pretty interesting, so I figured I would share it with you guys today. So on the original piece of hardware that this is emulating, that this is mimicking, right, it actually had this parameter on the back of the device, if I'm remembering properly. I never really adjusted. I'm not looking at the back of these when I go into studios and I'm using this physical compressor. But and I also feel kind of uncomfortable like changing people's settings if it's on the back of a piece of gear, because people might not notice if you change that within their studio, and I don't have one here. So basically I haven't done a ton of actually adjusting this, what the equivalent of this parameter on the physical piece of gear, but that's what this is mimicking. And so if you look at this, you can see there's like a little notch. And so basically the way you would change it, if I'm remembering properly, is you take a little screwdriver and you just turn it that way. So it's not like a physical knob that sticks out. It's more like one of those things that you turn with an actual screwdriver. So that's what that is. So basically this parameter here has the flat position, and when it's in the flat position, basically it's not adjusting the frequencies, it's not changing them in any way. You're not really doing much with this parameter. It's like the default, there's no change. But as you move away from the flat position, what it's doing is it's actually making it so that the compressor is less sensitive to lower frequencies, and that's why you hear a frequency balance change. So you're actually causing it to compress a little bit less as you adjust this. It's compressing those lower frequencies less. So since this becomes less sensitive to those lower frequencies as we crank it up, we can kind of use it as a de-esser in a sense, right? So because it's becoming less sensitive to those lower frequencies, we're not compressing those as much as the higher frequencies. We can then crank the whole compressor up a little bit more, and it's going to have more an effect on those higher frequencies than on the lower frequencies. Makes sense, right? So yeah, that's the idea behind this knob here. You know, if you think about it, it's very similar to adding a multi-band compressor effect to this compressor, which is also very similar to adding a de-esser, right? So it's just a little bit maybe more subtle than some, you know, multi-band compressors or some de-essers. It has a really nice effect, so I would try check it out, see how you like it. I always mess with this whenever I'm using this plugin. And actually, if you look here on the user manual, which I just Googled to find this, right? It describes in more depth how it works. So it increases the voltage amplifier gain in the peak reduction circuit for frequencies above 1 kilohertz. So it leaves lower frequencies unaffected. So basically, in simpler language, it says right here, you know, when set to flat, the CLA-2A will provide equal reduction to all frequencies, right? So flat reset value is 100, right? So that's flat. 100 is flat. So that's all the way to the right when you turn it all the way to clockwise. And then the more you move away from the flat position, the less sensitive the compressor is to lower frequencies, resulting in less compression, right? Which then can be used as a de-esser because you're compressing those upper frequencies more than you are to the lower frequencies. The lower frequencies are being compressed less. So I hope that makes sense. And then this helped me a lot understand like where things are lying in terms of the knob. Like you can logic through it, but it's always helpful to see it here. So the reset value, the flat value is 100. It's all the way clockwise. And then your initial value is 50. So that's like halfway to fully active, if that makes sense. And then it starts at a 0 value. So it's 0 to 100, with 100 being the flat option without a change made. So I hope that makes sense. This really helped me understand it better. So I hope that helps somebody out there too. Let me know. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's just a shorty video, so I don't have a ton else to say about this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I would really appreciate it. I do have that Patreon, so it's patreon.com/CatoNoise, and my patrons do get access to additional content. They get early release videos. We have a Discord server now that we're all hanging out on. We're doing a book club. We're sharing mixes with each other, you know, getting positive critique and feedback. It's been a lot of fun. So if you want to check that out, it's patreon.com/CatoNoise. And other than that, I come out with new videos every Wednesday, and thank you for watching. Okay. I'm trying these new magnetic eyelashes. So they have little magnets on them, and then I used eyeliner that has magnets in it, and it's now sticking to my eye. It feels really weird. I hope it doesn't look too weird, because I am not reshooting this video, that's for sure. It's not worth it. I'd rather, I don't know, look a little dumb for a few videos or something. I'm lazy. I'm sorry. I'm lazy. Yeah. Okay, bye.